Hey folks, today we're kicking off the holiday season by talking about Sierra Hull's arrangement of Old Ebenezer Scrooge. I know this video came out on YouTube and a lot of people were talking about it. I saw some Facebook comments asking if someone could transcribe it. I saw some comments on my own YouTube, and I even got an email from some folks. Now the transcription that I did do, I actually did from my student Carrie, who asked for it. So thanks for this suggestion, Carrie. In any case, it's been a popular one, and whenever Sierra Hull plays guitar, it's a good excuse to get some transcribing done. So let's spend some time learning some scale shapes, some arpeggios, and some little licks. Trust me, this makes the whole breakdown much more attainable, so let's spend some time on the details. We'll become more well-rounded players, and then we can do that measure by measure breakdown. So the first thing that we need to talk about in this tune is the G minor pentatonic scale. Now this song has some modal influence in it for sure, so you could probably look at it as, Mixolydian, but it's got a bunch of minor thirds, which make you think a little more G minor pentatonic or G blues. So thinking about it as G minor pentatonic with some added notes, I think is the easier path. So that's where we're going to look at it today. So let's look at two positions of the G minor pentatonic scale. Here we go. Take a look. Next, we should cover how Sierra uses thirds of chords, which is always a really interesting thing in bluegrass. I like to call this move the dirty third. It's essentially the minor third of the current chord moving to the major third of the current chord. In this particular arrangement, Sierra does that over G chords and over D chords. It's a really standard kind of blues move. We see it all the time in the hot style bluegrass playing. So let's practice a little bit of that. And lastly, Sierra's using some arpeggios, I think in the D part, because this song has a million sections to it. Arpeggios are basically exploding chords out into their component parts. So it's like, instead of strumming the chord all at once, you kind of play all of the notes individually. Now, she does this over G chords and F chords, and it's this really hard little passage. When I was doing my playthrough, it's definitely the most difficult part of the arrangement. So definitely spend some time on this, practicing this, because it is harder than you think to play. Here we go. Now that we've done all that, why don't you watch the video again, look for the G minor pentatonic scale, look for the arpeggios, look for the dirty thirds. I ask you to do this because I want you to be able to recognize these things in other songs, right? The hope is that we don't just learn Old Ebenezer Scrooge. The hope is that you also learn what it's made out of. So when you find similar tunes, you can learn them on your own, right? Well-rounded players. Remember, that's the goal. See if you can spot those things. Here we are looking at the tune. This is the kickoff to get us going into the tune. Sierra's playing it with just an alternating octave here. Now, if you need a refresher on how to count these lonely boys up top, these are quarter notes, so they all count for 1, 2, 3, 4. If you see any connected boys like these are eighth notes, so they count for 3 and 4 and in this case. So Lonely Boy is 1, Lonely Boy is 2, and these guys that are connected, 3 and 4 and. Now this is a pickup measure, and I like to think of it as beat 4 of an invisible measure, if you will. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. Hopefully that's enough of a refresher on how to count. Let's keep going. Here's where me and Sierra start to have fingering differences. The choice is which fingers we play. So I'm going to show you the way Sierra plays it first. Sierra plays this. This is a cool move because after this slide, we're set up to go. So start with the middle finger. And then 3 and 2 are going to ring and index, respectively. Ring, index, ring, index, slide on ring. And when I get to this 4 notes right here, I'm just going to come down with my middle finger. And that's how Sierra works through some of the fingering here. I play it like this. The big difference is that when I get to this moment, I don't come down with another finger. I'm solving that with a bar. Whichever fingers you choose, this is just a stream of 8 notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you play it and it doesn't feel like a constant stream of notes, you're not playing it right. The same goes for this section. Should feel like a constant stream of notes. So putting together these 4 measures at a reasonable pace Now you may think that I just played those 4 measures twice, but look, that's actually the next couple measures. So that's good news for you, right? If you can play one of those, you can play the other. And that is our A part. Not too many surprises, not too many whammies. It's the finger choices that are going to get you more than anything. So let's keep going. So here we go. Here's our B part right here. Once again, we have a constant stream of 8th notes. So I'm going to play through this. My instinct for this is to play it all in first position, index finger over first fret, because then my finger choices are made for me. First fret, second fret, third fret, to index, middle, and ring, respectively. Once again, isn't the next line of the B part remarkably similar? It is the same thing. The only thing we have to look out for is this second ending. And the second ending gets us into the C part, and it sounds like this. So let's remember just that slide. So coming over here, I'm seeing the other half of the slide. I'm going from first fret. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This rhythm got me the first time that I tried to play this. I wrote this down, I went to read it back, and I was like, why does this feel wrong in my hands? The reason why is because I'm not used to doing a slide like this on an upstroke. Up, down. And I've written both of those as 16th notes, but you kind of diss them as fast as possible. It's another one of those situations where it could have been just like a real quick grace note, but I didn't write it that way. But let's back up. We're getting ahead of ourselves. This first measure. So slide. I bent a little too far, but that's the idea. When I play this bend, I have to grab 5th fret here, but I'm also putting these fingers behind on 3, 4, and then 5. So index, middle, ring are on 3rd, 4th, and 5th fret, all on the B string. So I have a little more, words are hard. So my ring finger has backup. It's a little easier to do that bend. And the counting is 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Now I know this isn't an 8th note right here, but the bend, the kind of up-down, kind of takes the place of what would be the and of 3. Those of you that play by feel will probably have an easier time with that. Reading music is hard sometimes. This rhythm is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. The pick strokes are what's important here. Down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. And adding just the next slide onto it. Down, down, up, down, up, down. Like I said, that is a tough little bit to play. So let's finish this off right here. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. I have another slide getting me in. You might have to spend some time on this part. I'm not going to lie to you. But we're going to keep going because this is the longest fiddle tune in the world. So getting into the next part, this is the first section that has a different second half. So 4, 1. Lots of upstrokes happening here that you have to be aware of. Check out this moment. I get 2 upstrokes in a row. This moment I get 3 upstrokes in a row. You want to look out for those. Make sure you can see those. Maybe just looking at this part, if you're struggling with your pick strokes, would be a great place to practice. Up, 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 down, down. It's such a cool little line. Probably take you some work, but it is a cool little line. All right, I hope you spent some time working on the arpeggios like we talked about. We have a slide pickup, so 3rd fret on the D string. Let's hold that in our heads while we go over here. How about that much? 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and. That is a tough passage. I wrote the pick strokes in a really standard way, sort of putting the ups and downs where they go. Coming from a little bit of the Tony Rice school of thought, I might put a double down in here, almost like I'm referencing cross-picking, but I'm not really doing it. I'm reluctant to tell you guys that because some people might obsess about it, but as I play this, 4, 1, I play down, down, up. And it's actually the only moment where I do that. Let's look at this next passage though. So let's say we come over here, let's ignore the slide starting it. We go slide with the pinky from 10 to 8. Now it's going to be my index and my middle for the hammer on. Ring and index for 8, 6. Now it's going to be my middle finger for the slide down to 3rd fret. Middle finger to ring for the hammer on. Open for the G string on the beginning of the next line that you can't see. That is a really useful lick. I think when we had Andy Hatfield on, who's now one of the Lessons with Marcel teachers, when we had him on for an interview, he taught a lick that was similar to this. Billy Strings also does something like this in the Black and White Dust in a Baggie video that we broke down, maybe last year. Anyway, let's keep going. This is where things start getting crazy. That's those first measures. A lot of 8th notes. There's 2 quarter notes right here. So as I play it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. I see a lot of players mess up phrases like this. They want to rush that pull off. Don't be that person. I want to feel 3 and 4 and. If you're playing, you're missing the point. All right, exciting part. So we're sliding up, 2 deadened strums. We come down with a downstroke, and we're sliding. It could be from 7 to 5 or 6 to 5. Details aren't too important there. You don't really get a chance to hear that where that starts when you're playing it faster. We keep moving. She's getting into some cross-picking territory. So we have this slide up here that's going to get us into this territory. And I have to slide up on my ring finger for this to work, by the way. I found that in the playthrough as well. That's the beginning. And you can leave out that in measure 39 there, when we go to the next line, you can leave out that first G note if you want. It makes the phrase a little bit easier to play. But you have to feel beat 1, so 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you're having trouble with that timing, just put that G note in there. Next measure starts with this really quick slide back. So this first slide, it takes the place of 1/8 note, 1 and 2 and. But this second slide that happens takes the place of 2/8 notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That is to say that the first slide in this measure is quicker, it's 2/16 notes, and the second slide is slower, it's 2/8 notes. And that makes a big difference when you play it. So moving from this line to the end, real quick slide. Once again, that slide in between these two measures is an 8th note slide. So and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's my pinky coming up on 5th fret underneath to grab that note up there. It slides up to 6 and I'm ready to come down. You should recognize this as some of that minor pentatonic. That kind of shape that we talked about. Here's the last line. Looks like this, and it should look familiar to you. I don't have to talk about this part. We've already seen this basically. But over here, I have a G, open G string, and that takes up a whole beat. And then I'm coming in on beat 2. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. That phrase has a lot of slides in it. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you found slightly different fingering choices to complete that. Maybe I'll show you what I do. I'm doing both of those slides with my index finger. So the moment that I'm using to pick another finger is right here. I'm using my middle finger. So pinky, index, 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 middle, index. I probably end with my middle finger on that G down there. Now here's the thing. There is a little tag phrase on the end of this. She goes up and she plays a little something that sounds like the A part, and she puts a little ending on it. But I don't want to tell you how to play that part because I think it would be more fun if you figured out for yourself how to play that little turnaround. If you figured out something like Sierra's but a little bit different, I think that it would be a nice challenge for you guys to take everything that you just learned in this tune, listen to how she ends the whole arrangement, and try to come up with something like that for yourself. Anyway, that's the breakdown. Now that we've done that big breakdown, why don't you watch back the performance again? I'm going to put the tab up above. Remember, you can always hit the settings wheel down below, go to playback speed. You can select something a little bit slower, and then you can work your way up to a reasonable tempo. This is a little bit of a fast one. That arpeggio section, ooh, it is rough. Anyway, here we go. right, if you like taking a lesson from the biggest, baddest billy goat in the barnyard, there's always things that you can do. You can like, comment, and subscribe. You can go to my website, check out some merch, get some free tabs like the one we worked on today. And you can also sign up for Skype lessons. Now, we have 2 other teachers as well as myself that are working on getting all the students placed. So far, we've been doing really good, actually. There's a while when the waiting list was getting real long, but it's starting to move again. So hopefully if you sign up now, we can get you placed quick. Everyone have happy holidays. I'm sure that I'll see you before then, but you know, I figured I'd say it early too. I'll see y'all next time.